With an update on Vince McMahon's role in WWE Creative and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. With Nick Aldis debuting on WWE television as the SmackDown General Manager, more details on his deal with the company were given by Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful, who wrote, after years of rumored interest from WWE and Nick Aldis, the former NWA and TNA World Champion, Aldis joined the company this summer as a producer. Up until this week, it was on a trial basis, but we can confirm that he signed on with WWE in an official capacity and is no longer a free agent. Aldis was not listed on the SmackDown producer reports, and will have a clearer picture of if he'll continue in that role in the coming weeks. However, he was revealed on the October 13th episode of SmackDown as the new SmackDown General Manager. Adam Pearce has produced and worked as an on-screen talent for years. However, MVP was originally brought in as a producer before moving to an exclusively to an on-screen role. Those backstage in WWE have told us that Aldis has been easy to work with and willing to make the most of the WWE opportunity, and others have said that he was eager to make that work in whatever role he was given. Taking to social media, WWE star Kofi Kingston revealed that he has helped open a library and digital center in Ghana. Defending the shots that AEW President Tony Khan has taken at WWE over the past few days, Matt Hardy said on his Extreme Life podcast, "I don't think there's such a thing as being too passionate about your show. Even when you talk about his methods of promotion, I just think it's different strokes for different folks. He's a younger guy. Tony grew into the world of social media in his wrestling fandom. I think it's just kind of what he knows. He knows that is a platform. He can put his opinion, he can put his promotion out, and people are going to see it. He has a large following, and he's also such a figure in pro wrestling that has a ton of notoriety, so people are going to report on it, and it is going to make headlines." That's what he's been doing the last couple days, making headlines, but at the end of the day, the internet audience, which he really depends on a lot for AEW, they are going to read those headlines, and there's a good chance they're gonna tune in just because it's being talked about so much. The wrestling websites are going to be picking up all these buck wild Tony Khan tweets. He's passionate about pro wrestling, and I think he knows he can directly reach people who are like him. I think his mentality is of a diehard fan, and I feel he interacts with diehard fans, and he feels like he's able to reach diehard fans, and I think he feels like he can buy some equity with those people, especially if he's not afraid to back down from WWE and the system. Speaking of Tony Khan, he apparently responded to the segment in AEW involving the world champion MJF and Juice Robinson, as Travis Ackers wrote, "This is how Tony Khan responded to my critique of using an anti-Semitic storyline. Instead of addressing a legitimate concern, he says it's not doing much good. Thousands of fans have expressed disappointment about the poorly timed angle. This is not how you respond to them. Yes, Tony reached out via direct message. However, we are having an ongoing conversation now regarding the angle and my concerns about the anti-Semitic content." Touching on the possibility of a return to NXT, Karrion Kross told Chris Van Vliet, "I don't want to say I was dishonest, but I wasn't entirely honest when I discussed how difficult being in lockdown was for me. During the whole pandemic, I was in Florida. A lot of my family was in Canada. Some of them are older. I have family in New York. I didn't know at the time if it was a smart idea or even safe to go visit them, so I didn't. I felt very isolated. I was at work, which was a relief. I had Scarlet, but it was a very difficult time for me personally, for all of us. It was difficult to get through, and I was always hoping, while I was at NXT, that I would be able to get that premium live event crowd. I never got that. The takeovers that they did in New York, we had that little audience. Whether they knew it or not, they were like family to me. Even when they were booing me and calling me every name in the book, which they should have, because that's what I was trying to elicit in place of my family that I didn't have at the time, I had that audience. I don't think they realized just the feeling there, what that was like psychologically doing for me. That audience carried me through that period. It would be nice to see them again, and it would be nice to do one of those takeover events. Narrative should make sense, and it should be under the right circumstances. I wouldn't just want to go back for the hell of it. I would want to go back for something good for them. Speaking out on being pulled from New Japan Pro Wrestling events, Lio Rush said, 2 weeks ago, I got really sick during a crucial time in my career, changing the path that I was on. I'm not entirely sure how to handle it other than to be home with family while I process the changes that this event has caused. I don't know what's next other than to heal, and I'm hoping that this time away will help me do just that. I'll be releasing an album titled No Time to Heal on my birthday, November 11th, that I hope will tell my story. Explaining why she did not sign with WWE in 2020, former star of the company Melina told Wrestling Shoot Interviews, "Actually, I was, but this is another thing where I keep thinking, were they just dangling a carrot in front of me? Honestly, that was the time to dangle a carrot in front of me because my father just died, and the last thing he said when I last saw him was, if I had a chance to go back, go back. So for him, hell yeah, I'd go back because I wanted to fulfill his vision of what he saw for me. But when they took that carrot back, I thought, no. My God, I remember how I felt when I was here last time. I don't think I can go through it again if it's the same kind of environment. I'm older now. I want to work. I don't want to play games, and I want to work to the best of my abilities and not go through the games I went through when I was a kid. It's this thing where I want to do. I want to fulfill my father's dreams. What he said, you're so good at it, I think you should go back. I think part of me thought, yeah, I'd like to go back, but when they did that, I was like, never mind. Sorry, Daddy. I'll fulfill your vision of me in a different way. Of course, I wanted to do more. It would have been nice if I actually got the full minute they told me I was going to get, especially with Sasha. It would have been a more beautiful closing of a chapter for me when it came to WWE. But even though they took everything out, they even tried to take my entrance out. If you pay attention, maybe it's edited out. I tried to do the entrance, they cut away. They didn't know I was going to do that. They had to get it, and I was like, oh my goodness, why are you guys screwing with me like that? It's been a long time I've been here. I don't understand. The fans' response, that's all I'm going to take away. That's all that matters. Whatever they try to take, they can erase me from history. Whatever the case may be, it's okay. I don't need that. I don't need validation. But when it comes to the fans, I die happy with that feeling that they gave me that day. Giving an update on Adam Cole having surgery for his injury, Ringside News said many fans wondered when Adam Cole would get his surgery. After all, he appeared on AEW television for a few weeks with a walking boot on, but he didn't have his surgery. Now that has changed. Kevin Owens was the first to break the news that Adam Cole had surgery on Friday. Now we have confirmation of that. Adam Cole said that he will need multiple surgeries on his ankle after that devastating injury. He appeared in some video vignettes over the past couple of weeks, each time saying that he needed to go have surgery. Now we have to wonder when he will show up again. Adam Cole then said on X, "I'm okay, Chug's Army. This is going to be a long and challenging road, but your love and support means the absolute world to me. I hope you all know how much I appreciate it. Hoping to be back on stream next week. Most importantly, I hope you all are doing amazing. I really do." As CEO of Endeavor and TKO Group Holdings, Ari Emanuel commented on Vince McMahon potentially selling his stock in TKO. Brandon Thurston said, Ari Emanuel, speaking on Wednesday at the Bloomberg conference, gives 3 reasons why TKO stock is down. 1, the new Raw deal coming in at a 1.4 times increase from the current deal. Contrary, Ari's comments here, the market had been speculating 1.5 times to 1.8 times for months. 2, the Saudi PIF investing in the PFL, which the market viewed disproportionately as increasing the risk of competition to UFC. And 3, probably Vince in our deal wanted to be able to put at any point in time his stock. He's 78 years old. He's been working at this for decades and decades. As Ari said, put his stock up. He seemed to be about to say for sale, but interrupted himself. This probably refers to Vince McMahon's rights to sell his stock, detailed in this filing from August. Going over the creative authority of Vince McMahon and WWE, Sports Illustrated said multiple contracts within the WWE and UFC have confirmed that Ari Emanuel, who wields power as the Endeavor CEO, is behind the change. Emanuel has long been a firm believer that, in order for an organization to be as effective as possible, people need to do the job they are assigned. In this case, that approach has empowered Paul Levesque to exert his full influence in the company's creative sphere. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.